Hello everyone, it's Fred again from Notes of a Nomad. This week it's Thanksgiving in Canada, and the theme today is being grateful. And that's part of Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving in Canada is a different date than it is in the United States. We have it on the second Monday in October, whereas in the United States it's the fourth Thursday in November. We have it earlier. I believe one of the reasons is because it gets colder, we're further north, so the harvest is earlier, and part of Thanksgiving is to indicate and be thankful and grateful for the fact that the harvest and all the food we have. I thought I would explain to you some of the reasons I'm grateful for living where I live at the moment in Victoria area on Vancouver Island, British Columbia on the west coast of Canada. This was show you a few pictures of the area. This was a picture of a young deer that came to visit him or her, and two of the friends came regularly. They come and forage. This is out the window just from where I'm sitting now, and they're only like 6 feet away, so I managed to get a picture of them. I'll show you another picture, which is of Lily, a dog that I was walking. I think this was 2018. And this just shows you a golf course that I used to walk along, which was on the edge of the ocean in an area called Oak Bay in the Victoria area. And Lily, whenever she saw a deer, when there was plenty of deer in Oak Bay, she would go crazy. Wow, she wanted to catch him. So I had to be careful and always hold the lead very tightly. Otherwise, she would go after the deer. But this shows you some of the aspects of Victoria, the water, the ocean. And that's a great benefit living next to the ocean here, because I believe it helps with the oxygen. Here's a picture of downtown Victoria earlier this year in February when the cherry blossoms are blooming. I was talking with a friend in Japan at that time, and he was talking about their trees were blossoming. And I said, well, they're also blossoming here in Vancouver Island. So there's a couple pictures of the street with the trees blossoming in February of this year. Also, because of the ocean, the picture's not very large. I can enlarge it, but it's not great resolution. But a fish that I apparently caught when I went fishing with a friend of mine last year. And while we were out on the boat, we went near where the sea lions hang out, and we took this picture. But the main theme that I have is the fact that this is a lovely place to live because of the ocean and the trees. You get it's fresh air, the oxygen, so it's a very healthy place. And it's a great community, so, and has probably the best climate, the warmest climate of any place in Canada. So it's a wonderful place to hang out. And I'm pleased to be here. I'll stop sharing my screen and explain another reason why I'm very grateful to be here. And that is what's happening with COVID-19. As we all know, a lot of people have been affected by it. And here's an example of what's happening or not happening in the world. On Vancouver Island, we have approximately 875,000 people living here. And if we look at the death rates per million at this stage, death rate per million in USA is 657 people per million. And if that applied to Vancouver Island, that would mean 571 people would be less, because there's less than 1 million people on the island would have died. Now, Sweden has done apparently very well, much better, and they have a death rate of 582, which means applying the 875,000, 506 people would have died on Vancouver Island if we had the same death rate. If we look at Canada, it's done better so far than the States and Sweden. We've had 253 people pass away, which means on Vancouver Island, 220 people would have died if it was the same rate. In British Columbia, the province on the West Coast, we would have had 41 die because they've had a rate in British Columbia of 48. It's much lower than the rest of Canada, obviously. But what's really happened on Vancouver Island? How many people have died? Well, none of the above. And this is one reason to be very grateful. 6 people have died so far in COVID-19, which gives a rate of 7 per million. So another reason why I am very grateful to be living on Vancouver Island. Now, I was reading earlier today a book that I read regularly. I take about half an hour or so, and something resonated with me, which I thought I would like to share with you because it made me think about we should appreciate what's good about this moment. You should stop and enjoy the view. We do have to appreciate every day that goes by without a major disaster. And of course, COVID-19, but things can happen. As you may know, I volunteer for emergency support services, and last Friday, I got a call out. And this lady was sitting in her house that she's lived in for 17 years. She has her dog and her 2 cats, and she was sitting in the lounge near the window when a car went through that window and missed her by 2 feet. Talk about a disaster. It's a very quiet street. It was this sort of accident, if you want to call it an accident, I guess it was unexpected disaster. So she's been devastated. So were called out to see if we could assist in any way. And there's an example of why we should appreciate what's good about this moment. Stop and enjoy the view. Be grateful for what we have and appreciate every day that goes by without a major disaster. So I thought I'd share with that on this Thanksgiving weekend in Canada. So I wish you and your family and your friends lots of love and laughter. So au revoir, adios, until next time. It's Fred again from Notes of a Nomad.